When it comes to music, I grew up listening to mostly classical and rock and roll. One of my favorite composers is Beethoven. I love his Ninth Symphony. Every time I listen to it, I feel like I'm in heaven. In fact, last night I attended a concert and enjoyed his glorious Ninth Symphony, especially the schedule. But one thing that annoyed me was that some in the audience applauded after each movement. What's up with that? So lame and ignorant. His music is so fantastic. I got up and clapped my hands so hard and fast and yelled out, "Encore! Encore!" after each movement, mind you. I love Schubert too. We share same birthday, you know. And his symphony number 9 is great. I especially love his 8th symphony, but sadly I never got to finish listening to the rest of it. I enjoy listening to operas too, like Carmen, Rigoletto, and La Boheme, though I wish I could understand French and Italian so I would know what they're singing about. In fact, a few times I didn't know it was over because the singer was not fat. When it comes to rock and roll music, nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky in Kansas. I love the Police. I love all their songs from Outlandos d'Amour, Viguera de Blanc, Zenera Mandara, Ghost in the Machine, and Synchronicity. So when she pulled me over one night for a sobriety test, I sang to her, "Every breath you take, every move you make." The Rolling Stones start me up every morning, and the Beatles want to hold my hand and come together. I love Blondie. Picture this. I'm dreaming. Debbie Harry call me and give me atomic rapture in the flash and rip me to shreds. Then I wake up. Oh well, I will survive one way or another. Whenever I'm feeling depressed and down and out, I always listen to Pink Floyd's Final Cut album. That always makes me feel better. Besides, I never had the nerve to make the final cut anyway. Oh, by the way, which one's Pink? And when I'm in a bad mood, I listen to the Moody Blues. That always cheers me up. Do you remember I Melt With You by Modern English? I love that song. Although every time I hear it, it makes me crave a grilled cheese sandwich. I miss John Lennon's music. Imagine if he were still alive, he would certainly not give the president a chance because instant karma is gonna get him. I like Elvis Presley's Love Me Tender. He sure was ahead of his time, wasn't he? The Pretenders was one of the most genuine bands of all time. I like Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, but I personally would have preferred Elevator to Heaven. I want to get there as fast as I could, you know what I mean? By the way, for the longest time I thought Marilyn Manson was a female artist. And didn't he also kill a lot of people? And Neil Young, he's 71 now. He ain't so young anymore, is he? I love REM, and not just only when I'm fast asleep. You too? I got into a little bit of jazz too, but one genre I could never get into was country music. I don't know. I tried, but I really couldn't get into it. I mean, I love beautiful women and enjoy good whiskeys and whatnot, but I just not the music. Sorry, I cannot say I enjoyed listening to heavy metal and punk bands either. They sound like they are always screaming at the top of their lungs just to annoy me and give me tinnitus. Some bands have interesting names like The Cramps, The Faces, Flaming Lips, I kid you not, Madness, Buzzcocks, and Blur. Seriously? Wow, is that the best they could come up with? Speaking of The Who, was it really necessary to write a song called Who Are You? Really? Did the band have its own identity crisis or something? I mean, wasn't it bad enough to name a band after a pronoun? Yeah. You really want to know? I'm Chuck. Stand up, Chuck, okay? You happy now? Boston, Chicago, Kansas, great bands. But they sure love to name bands after a state or a city, huh? If I were to start my own band, I would call it Hartford or Connecticut or Waterbury. Okay, maybe not that one. If you can have Beatles and Monkeys, the Kinks, why aren't there enough bands with the name starting with letters X and Z? I mean, what did letters X and Z ever do to you to deserve it, huh? I mean, why not something like Xenophobes, Xylophonics, or Xanax? Or how about the Zebras, the Zealots, the Zookeepers, the Zygots, Zincs, Zoogle? How about the Zeros or the Zits? I think they all sound cool, in my opinion. When it comes to rap, I think Eminem is a lyrical genius, a rap god. Whenever I listen to his music, my palms are sweaty, my knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on my sweat already, mom's spaghetti, and I lose myself in the music. MC Sniper is my other favorite rapper. His music is a poetry in motion. I particularly love his song Better Than Yesterday. Every time I listen to his music, I do feel better than yesterday. I call him the Korean Eminem, and Eminem, the American MC Sniper.